Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Codersarts. So in this video or today episode, we are going to showcasing one more projects demo. Basically in this project demo, we will try to explain how the different modules of any application build. Okay, so basically in today video we will talk about authentication, one of the product we have already developed. But now in this video we will try to give you the how the gist or what are the thing behind how the how the technology behind any features work. So basically this is completely MERN stack, but not MERN stack. Instead of MERN stack you can consider MySQL database, but rest of the thing is same, like it's a completely full stack development. One is still, but instead of MongoDB we are using MySQL, but in front end we are using ReactJS and backend Node.js and Express.js is a framework, and also database is only the MySQL. Even we can develop this similar website using MongoDB, so there is not concern. But just for giving the idea. Okay, so today one of our team member will explain how authentication work in this technology. Okay, so now I'm inviting my one of the team member of Tan. Okay, so he will explain about the first. He will explain what are the need of authentication, why authentication needed. Then we will go with like how flow of the authentication, how the authentication work. Okay, how the flow go from the front end, back end, and what are the middleware, something needed or anything else needed. Okay, so hi Aftan, now you can start explaining about the project. So first explain what are the authentications and why it's needed in any application.
Hello, sir. My name is Aftan, and I am a full stack developer at Codersarts. And today, while I'll be explaining about the authentication part in Coderscolab website. So, as we know that authentication is one of the major part of our website. While we are developing a big website for our customers, there we need to store the details of our users, and we allow them to log in and sign up. That is with a secure nature as well. So in this website, we have added a similar kind of feature, which is register and sign in. So in this this is a registration form in which the person can write his username that he wants to basically select for his like username for his profile in this website, and then he can decide to write his email address or whatever email address he has, and then he can also choose a password that he wants to use for this website. So you can accept any kind of information at the time of registration. So these three things were needed in our case in this website, so we use this one. But we can also use other information at the time of registration, for example first name, last name, all the other things as well. So in this, I'm accepting a username, like I can select as any username, for example Tushar. And also there is one more point here that in this I think I haven't added okay, let me just check it. Tushar Kumar @ so I haven't added for now the Gmail authentic verification part, because that is also needed, because whenever we are writing any Gmail, so we have to make sure that this Gmail is not a spam Gmail, but instead it exists. So I didn't added that validation part, I think, or we can check it. I'm not sure about this.
So this email ID already exists.
Yeah, it doesn't exist, but we'll see that.
Okay.
Okay, it's okay. I added double dot, so it is checking for the validation as well.
Okay, perfect.
So you can see that it is also checking for the register verification. So I added the verification. It is there. So we can see that it is sending an OTP, but that was a fake email, so I wouldn't be receiving any OTP, because that email doesn't exist, right? So I added the validation as well, so I have to refresh it, I think.
Okay. So just hold a second. So the
Yes,
first
yes.
thing is like email. We have done email validation. So as a learning point of view as a developer. So maybe when
Yes,
you're
sir.
creating the registration power of sign up form, so they can create any number of field they needed. But for
Yes, sir.
making the quick registration, we taking only essential information like username, email ID, and password, right? And
Yes, sir.
in these three field, we will try to. So is there any like in username, is there any length or any what we can say restrictions about the username or any username it will be, or have you implemented like
Mm,
regular express? Have you?
yes, sir. Like initially in this case, I haven't added that the username part in this.
Hmm.
In this, the main point is the email and password.
Okay.
After
Okay.
that, when he goes into his profile, at that time I'm checking for the like
Okay.
validation of the username at the
Okay.
time of profile creation.
Hmm. Okay.
There is
Okay.
also a
Got that.
part in that in this.
Okay, so got the idea. So the main point here is just avoid the or maybe restrict the spam email, right? So you have implemented
Yes, sir.
using, so we can using OTP. So how basically implement the OTP part? So can you explain how? So is there third party
So
API or?
yeah. So I used the Gmail API of Google,
Hmm.
and in that, whenever we want to send any email, so I'll be using that Gmail API,
Hmm.
and that Gmail API will be from a particular Gmail account. In our case, it is our official
Hmm.
contact at the codersarts.com. It will be sending OTP or any kind of Gmail messages
Hmm.
to the person or who is registering in our website.
Hmm.
So in our case, it will be sending OTP from the backend
Hmm.
to the mail, and then that OTP will be verified in here, and then that will be checked in the backend that whether this exists or like this is the right OTP or not, and then it will verify the email. So I have added a field called is verified, like a flag in the database.
Hmm.
If the person is not verified, so that field will be false, and if the verification is complete, so that field will become true. So
Okay. Okay.
it's
So
until
one.
the person register like until the person verifies the account, that person cannot register like log in his profile.
Okay. So one more question I have. So like suppose so this will only verify Gmail or any other email address.
Yes, it will verify any email. Like for example, if you want to send the email to Yahoo Mail, so
Hmm.
Gmail will also send. It is basically kind of Gmail we have added in our backend code. We can send to any email, like we can send message or OTP to any email.
Okay. So the important point is like if somebody want to learn how the email authentication works, so basically they can use Gmail also offering
Yeah.
email OTP verification part, right? So also
Yes, sir.
and it's certain limitation, this is completely free. I think in certain number of email verified or sending the OTP, and so just I'm not sure how much uh, come into the free part, like how much number of email verification will be free and how much it charges. So it's a part of Google Cloud, I think, right? So maybe you have to create
Yes,
the
sir.
Google Cloud account, and then we will create. You have to Gmail API verification part we have to do, right? So, fine.
Yes, sir.
So till now in this sign up part, sign up form, the learning will be like email validations and email authentication, basically with avoiding the spam email or validating. Okay,
Yes, sir.
and also the next thing you have also integrated in direct Gmail sign up, right? Also.
Yes, sir. This one, like,
Hmm.
if the person doesn't have like, let's say if the person has Yahoo Mail, so
Hmm.
he can choose to write his Yahoo Mail, and the OTP will be sent, and he can verify that. But if he has a Gmail, so he can directly log in with his Gmail by clicking on this continue with Gmail button. So
Hmm.
this feature I have added with the help of Gmail itself. So
Hmm.
this is also one more point. So I already had an account created in this Coderscolab, so it directly logged me in as the person.
Hmm.
And this is my profile. Like I can create my profile and add the details whatever I want to add.
Hmm.
So this is the thing. Like
Okay. Okay. Fine. So.
so
Uh,
I'm logged in with my default Gmail account.
mhm.
So in
Okay.
other cases, like it will ask for Gmail, like it will add a pop-up of Gmail
Hmm.
that will ask for the permission whether you want to allow this Coderscolab app to receive the information of your Gmail or not, like the first name and the username or profile picture. So it will
Mhm.
also grab the profile picture from your Gmail to this like profile, like in our Coderscolab profile.
Mhm. Oh, Okay, so basically for user authentications, we have uh, registering using their custom email address or maybe directly through Gmail, like Google
Yes, sir.
Gmail account. Okay, so directly they can sign up. So maybe we can implement. This is not restricted to only this app. So if somebody needed to integrate in their own application, we can also integrate in their application. Whatever the client or as a developer you needed to integrate in this one. Okay, and so
Yes,
go
sir.
to go to the login. So yeah, so
Uh, to log out.
mhm, click on the
Yes, sir.
login. So
This is the login.
yeah, so I think this is the simple thing because I don't think there is
Yes,
much
sir.
as a technical aspect.
So it will
Yeah.
just match the password whether this is right from the database or not. Like also I'm storing the password as
Mm,
encrypted, like hashing. I have added a hashing
mm,
algorithm in that in the backend.
mm.
So the password is not stored like a plain text. It is hashed and then it is comparing that password. For
Okay,
the
okay.
security purpose, we should also always hash the passwords because that is the more important thing.
Mm. Okay. So only for user authentication like login and sign up. So this is the common field, right? So
Yes, sir.
okay. So now let's talk about like how you have implemented this thing. Okay, go to the sign up.
Uh,
So okay, go to the sign up.
Still asking for that.
Okay, okay. Maybe you can open new. Okay. So, okay, fine. So now explain how will things work in behind. Okay, so suppose first you have designed this. Just explain the technical aspect. So first you have designed using uh, plain HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So how basically you design this page. Okay, and so what are the technologies? So you are using ReactJS or maybe you are using any material UI or anything else you are using.
Yes, sir.
So just explain how these page are implemented, and then you can explain how the things are performing. Like once submitting the form, where the data is going. Okay, so how the handling the request in nodes, something like that, or maybe when the data will be saved. Okay, so explain first how you design this page using the technology. You don't have to explain line by line code. Just explain if somebody want to build this type of registration page or maybe so what are the things needed, essential thing, or you can think maybe you're creating some component or maybe anything more about the React, so you can explain this thing. And once they submitted the click on the register, so what is happening? So data is going to the middleware, or how we're checking the data when you're storing the database, how we're handling in Node.js or something like. So just explain the
So
technique.
yes, sir. So basically, I'm using Material UI for creating these fields, like the input fields,
Hmm,
and the validation is also the front end based validation is also there, and the back end validation is also there.
hmm,
This you can create with the help of your CSS knowledge and the Material UI knowledge. So I'm using the component library, which is Material UI,
hmm,
and I have added some styling for this. Like this is the custom button I have created.
hmm,
And after clicking on this submit button, it is for now disabled because the fields are not completely filled. So
hmm,
that's why it is disabled. And then after that, I'm just sending it to the authentication route, which I have created in user routes.
hmm,
So, so let's say this, I have also added this login field. So this login field will not check any other things, but the other fields like the other important information like for the bookings and the other related things are blocked until the user is logged in. So I'm checking with the help of JWT tokens. So this is JSON web tokens that I've implemented. So it
hmm,
will verify whether the person has logged, like is logged in or not, he has a verified account or not, like he has the right or not, like a role based system. I have implemented that
hmm,
also. So this was the route is for Google authentication. So whenever we are clicking on that Google continue with Google, so this route is basically running. So I have used a Passport.js for this. Like Passport.js is a library that allows us for uh, uh, implementing authentication of different types like Twitter, Facebook, and other things. We can implement other authentication parts also. We can implement with the help of Passport.js.
hmm.
Just we need to have the API keys from the cloud from the cloud of the authentication system that we want to implement. Like for Facebook authentication, we need to have that key. For Google, we need to have that key from the GCP account or the Google Cloud account. The base, like the main system was like from login. So I have created this account, like this user sign up. So this is my controller, the function that will be running on this route whenever the data is submitted. So it is basically, I have also used validation libraries in the backend, which tells, like, which checks whether the person has entered username, email, uh, and the password also. So I'm also checking, this should also contain .com or .net, like these things, and it should only have two segments. The username should be only a string, and the alphanumerical value minimum three letters should be there in the username, and this is a required field. So all these validation I'm checking from the body. Like this is the backend validation, which is more important than the front end validation, because without this we cannot store everything inside like the database. We have to restrict any kind of data to be stored in the database, because that is very costly, and we have to decide what data should be stored inside the database. If it is a right data, then only we can store the data. Also, I'm checking the password length, and the password should contain the hash alphabet, the alphanumerical characters and numbers. It should contain that, and minimum 8 and maximum 16 characters of the password should be there. So I'm checking all that, and then I'm encrypting the password with the help of bcrypt library, which is for hashing the password or the other things that you want to hash in your database. And then actually I'm storing it. Also, I'm checking whether the this email exists in our database or not. If it exists, so I'll be making sure that the person choose a different email by sending him a message that this email already exists. And then I'm sending an OTP with the help of this function that sends the OTP, and then that OTP is sent to that Gmail account and or the email account whatever he has provided. That email that OTP is verified, then after he can basically log in. So
Okay.
he will be created if the all the validation passes, then the account will be created, but the validation will still be there. Like the verification should be there. Like the verification will not be completed until he puts the right OTP, and then he verifies the account.
Okay. So maybe from front end we directly this calling this API, right? So that is API validating the OTP, right?
Yes,
Email.
yes. This API is the backend API that is managing all the sign up thing. Like
But
the yeah.
but other than API, so there is a email API. There is no any use of currently backend, right? Just we are everything managing at front end, right?
No, sir. Like the front end is sending the data, but
Hmm.
this is the backend part I shown you. Like this route
Okay.
is the backend part, and this
Okay.
function is also the backend.
Okay. 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 Fine. So I was thinking like you have still open the front end. Okay. Fine. So you are handling all the requests from the front end and in backend, right? We are handling all these requests in backend. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Okay, fine. So I think anything else? I think because we do not have to go in deeper because other functionality only we have to target about like how the login and sign up authentication work in using React and Node. Okay, so the same story for Google or login. I think, but it will be different. But I think only there will be OTP verification, right? Like, I mean, have you
Yes, sir.
created separate pages or? For Gmail part, or maybe some small function you're calling for this one?
No, sir. Like in the backend, I'm calling this a small function. Like
Hmm.
sending the email OTP, using this function,
So
which I created earlier. Like
hmm,
the to search for that.
how we are matching, like user have give in written give inputted the right OTP or not, maybe in the random number. So how we are verifying the OTP is correct? So yeah,
So
the
I'm
same.
storing it in the database, and then like the OTP is stored in the database,
Hmm.
but there is one more flag that is verified. So I'm checking everything from the database, not from the front end. So I'm not sending any OTP to the front end because that can be viewed. So and I am not sending anything from to the OTP is not sent to the front end.
Okay.
Directly I'm storing it in the backend like the database. Then I'm matching it again if the user verifies the account. So I'm matching it again. Then that is verified from the
Okay.
database.
Maybe OTP is deleted after some time if you the expiry OTP expiry is there something?
Yes, sir. Like this function will verify the OTP, but I'm not deleting for now. So it will be wiser to delete the field, but I like for one field I have to change alter all the table. That's why I didn't do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Okay.
here I'm updating like after verification. So I'm matching if the OTP is with the current OTP, then I'm making the flag to true that is verified true. Then after that he can log in with his account.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So go to the login part. So I think in login only we have to match the details. I think right.
Yes,
Or
sir. Only it will match the details like the login route is there.
mm,
So it is this route like it will generate the token after the successful after it finds the user successfully.
okay.
So then it will generate the token. That token will be the JWT token which will be verified on each route. Like whenever he'll be accessing any content which is protected in the backend, so he will be needing this token. So I'm sending this token from the front end to backend whenever I'm accessing any protected content from the backend. So it
Okay.
will verify whether this person is logged in or not, like what is his email, he has the right or not, so
Mm,
these kind of information.
okay. Okay. Okay, fine. So I think we have talked about different field of login sign up. Okay, now what are the different field, and also explain how we can design this front end, like using React. What are the like component or maybe anything using normal CSS, HTML, CSS. You can use this one, and yeah, and also the as code level, you have already explained a little about how how different function you're calling and we are doing it. Okay,
Yes,
so anything else like authentications we have to explain or maybe almost this covered because we are not going to explain at code level because there's a little longer video. Only we are
yes, sir.
only our target is how the things work and what are the needed as a programming construct, what are the things are needed.
Yes, sir.
Mm,
I think I have explained the flow, like what is the basic flow I've used for
mm,
authentication in Coderscolab.
mm,
But I think we also, yeah, I've explained all of that.
mm. Okay, fine. So maybe in coming video we will explain more features. Maybe I think I'm not sure how user will watch this video helpful for you for audience or not. But we are giving just giving one more try, like how this type of video is helpful for user or not. Just we are explaining things. We will later will come more like how we design the system. So basically the target was that how we are basically not only a conceptual level. So basically we are trying to explain how basically the system are designed at code level and how in these things are working. Only the concern was this one. Okay, so uh,
Okay.
okay, fine. So I think that's all everybody. That's all everyone. So I think this later video or maybe in coming video we will explain more and more others different component or maybe different modules and what are the different feature implemented in website. Okay, so this only for login sign up. I know this is a very initial stage you can say when we are going to some as a developer level website or maybe as a launching some website for user perspective. Not sometimes there might be some any feature you are giving and you want to give like basically you want to store the user data, right? Based on that how much user log in, how there is sign up. So well, based on that, like we are giving, so basically we are restricting your application, so only login sign up. So these authentications, well, in most of the development project, these are essential things needed. So maybe if you are working this type of projects, or might be any of the things we have explained till now, you are facing some issue, or even you need to learn from scratch. You have maybe you have already watched lots of video Udemy or maybe on any other platform. There is self-paced lots of video available, but sometimes once you are going to implement directly in your application, so that things are not working. Or maybe if you are more experienced developer, so that will work, but as a beginner, or maybe you just started the things out, so that will not work. So sometimes they in that time, as a we as a developer, we can say your colleague, we can help to complete your projects on time, or maybe anything. You are launching your own product, maybe you're working in some company, or maybe you building for your own portfolio building projects, or anything like that. So wherever this authentication are needed till now, what are the feature you explain? If you're implementing in your website, or you think you need help, so you can directly contact us. Else else you can watch this type of videos. So just getting the things, getting the taste basically, or how the things are basically in behind the scene, these things are okay. Okay, so I hope you will get some insightful information. If there is some doubt, or maybe we haven't covered in depth, or maybe we are not mm, giving you that much level of information, so you can also comment down below. Based on your feedback, based on your comment, we will try to improve video, or maybe we will try to giving more in-depth tutorial of these of things. Okay, so this will only for authentication. Later video will come with how the complete website build, and maybe what are the other feature if you need to build. Okay, so thank you everyone. So hope you enjoy this video. So that's all everyone. So thank you so much for watching this video. Let's meet in another one. Till then, keep learning, keep growing. Thank you for watching.